Alright, what is going on guys? It's Tazz here, and welcome back to the channel. Now today what I've got for you guys is another Batwoman video. So it has been a couple of weeks now since we first got the news of Ruby's exit as the lead of Batwoman, and within that time we have not only gotten a bit of an explanation as to why she left, but also what the showrunner plans to do in Season 2 regarding the show's new lead. First off, let's get the explanation out of the way. It seems like the decision for Ruby to leave Batwoman was one that was come to mutually by the executives behind the show as well as Ruby herself. The report that seems to be going around the most is that there was an agreement that it just wasn't working out on either side, so to avoid further conflict during production later, Ruby had to step down from that project. These things happen sometimes where actors and show executives just aren't meshing well together, and for the production's sake, sometimes it is just better for the actor to step away and the show be taken in a different direction, either with a recast or a soft reboot of the show. And it seems like Batwoman may be taking that soft reboot approach come Season 2. Not too long after the news about Ruby Rose leaving the show hit the internet, we were met with loads of speculation on who would take up the cowl come next season, and who they could potentially get to fill Kate's shoes, someone who kind of checked all of the boxes of Kate 1.0, but would also bring something fresh to the role. That was until a casting description came out which seemingly confirms that they will not be recasting Kate, but casting a completely new actress to take up the Batwoman mantle within Season 2. The casting call reads, Ryan Wilder, female, mid to late 20s, any ethnicity. Ryan Wilder is about to become Batwoman. She's likable, messy, a little goofy, and untamed. She's also nothing like Kate Kane, the woman who wore the Batsuit before her. With no one in her life to keep her on track, Ryan spent years as a drug runner, dodging the GCPD and masking her pain with bad habits. Today, reformed and sober, Ryan lives in her van with her plant. A girl who would steal milk for an alley cat and could also kill you with her bare hands. Ryan is the most dangerous type of fighter, highly skilled and wildly undisciplined. An out lesbian, athletic, raw, passionate, fallible, and very much not your stereotypical all-American hero. AEP series regular performers who identify as LGBTQ are encouraged to submit. So from this description, it all but confirms that we will have a brand new lead come Season 2 who will end up kind of rebooting the entire show, or at least Batwoman as a character. So what do I think of this? Honestly, I was not expecting them to go this way with the recast. I was on the boat of people who thought maybe they'd recast Kate Kane with someone who kind of looked like Ruby a bit and just casually explain away why she looked a bit different and continue on like nothing happened. It was always a possibility for a brand new Batwoman to be introduced, but again, not my first choice and not what I thought they would end up doing. From this casting description, I think fundamentally the character won't be too different from Kate once we have her in the cowl on the streets of Gotham taking on the bad guys, but within the day-to-day personal interactions is where I think we will see the most change. A complaint that I saw many people voice about Kate early on was that she was kind of a stiff character, and it seems like they've taken that into consideration with this casting call. The new character currently named Ryan Wilder, which if you ask me is most likely going to change and just be a placeholder name, but it seems like from her description that she has a bit more personality and likability to her, and she could be a pretty fun character to see interact in our already established Gotham City. Not that Ruby's version of Kate was bad or anything, I think she really grew into that role by the end of Season 1, but it seems like the new Ryan Wilder character will be a bit more of a laid-back and fun character like Flash and Supergirl, rather than a dark and brooding Batman or Green Arrow all of the time. But there is another question: how are they going to make this transition smooth and not feel too abrupt for the audience? I think it is going to be a pretty difficult task to accomplish, but if it is pulled off well, then Batwoman Season 2 could be something pretty great. The biggest issue that I see at the moment is that Kate had so many connections with so many of the characters on the show, and without her there, a lot of those very personal relationships and history with certain characters will just be absent. Jacob, Kate's father, is hunting down Batwoman as the leader of the Crows. Alice, Kate's twin sister, is doing a lot of what she's doing because of Kate. Mary only got roped into things because, well, Kate is her sister. The history with Kate and Sophie, as well as Julia, which set up that cliche CW love triangle, that doesn't matter at this point. Hush now looks like Bruce Wayne, Kate's cousin, to get close to and ultimately betray Kate and company. Luke Fox works in Wayne Tower, which Kate has some sort of right to, and again being Bruce's cousin. So there is a lot that will have to be done to make sure that everything makes sense, and to give all of the characters reasons why they are still on the show and working with or against this completely new Batwoman. So while yes, not impossible to incorporate this new Ryan Wilder character into the pre-established show, it will be very difficult and most likely feel like more of a reboot to the show rather than going from season 1 to season 2. Fortunately, the Batwoman executives do have time on their side as the show doesn't come back until 2021, so we will just have to wait and see how this all plays out in the coming months, with our new Batwoman casting most likely not too far away. Also, back on the topic of this new Batwoman being Ryan Wilder, again, I don't think that will be the final name of the character. We've seen this before with other shows using fake names in casting. So there is a possibility that the new Batwoman ends up being a pre-existing comic book character like Helena Wayne, who is the Batwoman of Earth 3, but again, we will just have to wait and see how this all plays out. Regarding the actual casting, some rumblings about this did come to the forefront, and that is that they are potentially eyeing Vanessa Morgan, who currently plays Tony Topaz on Riverdale, to play the brand new Batwoman, who is for now going by the name of Ryan Wilder. There is absolutely no official confirmation on this or anything, but an article did pop up on comicbook.com recently, and some people that I follow did pick up on this as well, so it seems like there is a possibility that Vanessa could be the new Batwoman. If they do go with Vanessa as the new Batwoman, I'd for sure be on board with that. I think she is one of the better characters on Riverdale, as well as if you guys remember the show My Babysitter's a Vampire from back in the day, I think that she could be a pretty great contender for the role. Something else pretty interesting that has come out recently surrounding the Ryan Wilder character is that supposedly Scarecrow will be introduced and end up killing her mother, which motivates Ryan to become the next Batwoman, stealing the suit after the death or disappearance of Kate Kane, so some pretty crazy stuff is going to have to happen within that first episode back for season 2. So with that said, it's about all we know at the moment on what this new Batwoman recast has in store for us in Season 2. I'm definitely intrigued to see who is cast and how everything plays out next season to incorporate the new character as well as write out Kate Kane's Batwoman, which has also been confirmed by the showrunner that she will disappear and not be killed off. I know I said death or disappearance earlier, but this was just confirmed that she will not be killed off and actually end up disappearing, and that the disappearance of Kate will be a big mystery throughout this coming season. If they are actually able to pull this off, swapping around the leads and introducing a completely new Batwoman, and next season actually ends up making sense in some capacity, I think we are in for a pretty great run for the show. But with that said, I want to know what you guys think about all of this down there in the comments below. What do you think about Kate Kane being recast and replaced with a completely different Batwoman? How do you think they will integrate the new Batwoman while writing out Kate Kane? And who would you like to see pick up the cowl in Season 2? I want to know your thoughts down in the comments below. But until next time, guys, it's been Tazz, and I will see you guys in the next video.